Today's adventure takes place in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, where we're going to be learning a little bit of the history of a particular restaurant that happened here in the great scenic city. Hello my friends, Mr. Nomad Ben here. So you're probably thinking, Ben has officially ran out of content. I did not. And this is the reason why we are here at Krystal today. We're not just here just because it's just a little bit of a fast food restaurant. Did you guys know that Krystal was actually founded in the scenic city of Chattanooga, Tennessee during the Great Depression? So I figure, why not learn a little bit about the history about Krystal, and then perhaps we could find the original location that's more into downtown. Right now we're in the North Shore side off of Cherokee Boulevard, but we're going to go ahead and find it on Cherry and 7th. We're at least an idea where it was at, thanks to my friend Andy from Andy's Journeys to kind of give me the coordinates where I could find it, because it's a lot different than it is today, and it's not a Krystal, unless otherwise we would have been eaten there. But this is why we're here today. We're going to go encounter a little bit of Krystal action. Actually ordered the very first order that was taking place back in the 1930s. So why don't we go ahead and learn a bit about Krystal's history, enjoy some Krystals, and find the original, or at least have an idea of the original location where Krystal's is at. And here we go.
It's all about where you've been, Nomad Ben. Tell us all about the finer points of living and just traveling. Food, beer, history, nature quest. Every corner of us all to the great Midwest. Tell us all about where you've been, Nomad Ben.
And here we are, my friends. We are at Krystal's Restaurant here. And there's the building right here, the location of the Cherokee Boulevard. Did you guys know that Krystal's actually does glazed donuts now? And they're actually really good. Now before we go inside and eat some Krystals and a little bit about Krystal history, Krystal's is very similar to its counterpart, White Castle. But White Castle was actually founded about 9 to 10 years before Krystal happened. I would say that Krystal took inspiration from White Castle to create what it is today, but that's just my observation. But because Krystal is its own original little slider hamburgers, and it's different flavors than what White Castle does. And of course, White Castle was founded in Wichita, Kansas in 1921. Well, Krystal here was founded on October 24th, 1932. So unfortunately, I'm not allowed to document inside the building because there's reasons behind that, and I'm going to respect that as a content creator. The manager did give me permission I could find a corner and record there, but I just want to respect it and not go ahead and do that. So I'm going to be outside here eating my meal before we make our way over to the original location area. But the manager told me that this Krystal is actually the second oldest Krystal building. So this is part of Krystal history here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So how cool is that? So like I said, I'm not allowed to record inside, and I just want to be respectful of the environment. Even the manager gave me permission to eat inside the dining room and vlog, but you know, I just kind of figured it'd just be better if I just do it this way. But a little bit of history about Krystal. It was founded in Chattanooga, Tennessee on October 24th, 1932 during the Great Depression. And it was founded by Roddy Davenport Jr. and his friend J. Glenn Shreel. So they bought a building for $5,000. I think it was I don't really have the measurements, but I'll put it down into this right here to find out the measurements of the building when they bought it for the Krystal building. And the wife of Roddy Davenport Jr., his wife Mary, had the inspiration to name the restaurant Krystal's because they had a lawn ornament, which was a crystal ball. It was always nice and clean. So that was the name of the restaurant. That was in the name inspired the name Krystal of restaurant. And then the first order that was made for the restaurant was 6 Krystals and a cup of coffee. And guess how much that was back then? My friends, that was 35 cents that meal cost back in 1932. So I decided to honor that first order that was ever made at this particular restaurant I ordered 6 Krystals and a cup of coffee. So I got my bag of Krystals right here. And then I also got myself a cup of black coffee. And guess how much this was? This was over $11 in 2023. So let's just say how much inflation has definitely hit in almost nearly like 90 something years. So, or getting close to that kind of number there. So just kind of thinking about like how much time has changed and how much more things have gone up in price, and we all don't need to talk more about that. But just do honor Krystal and honor the first order. Let's just go ahead and eat the first normal Krystal. I didn't put cheese on it because they didn't put cheese on this order back in 1932, so I kept it authentic of the 1932 order. Got the Krystal right here. You know, look how good that is. And we got a little bit of mustard action, a pickle, and some onion. So what the difference between Krystal and White Castle's meat is, of course, the sandwiches are roughly the same, tiny hamburgers or cheeseburgers. But White Castle relies on the holes poked in the meat and the onion flavor. But Krystal kind of keeps it simple, and of course they use a lot of the mustard-based flavors for their burgers. So my friends, let's go ahead and honor Krystal of the first order, the 6 Krystals and a cup of coffee. 35 cents, now a little over 11 bucks. Cheers, my friends. Very good. And you know, I normally just have my Krystals with cheese. It's been a good minute since I had some Krystal. But without the cheese, it's actually not so bad. All right, we just had a Krystal, and I'm going to wash it down with a piping hot coffee. Kind of hard to believe how much man has evolved from drinking piping hot coffee into iced coffee. I know people still drink coffee hot. I occasionally like my coffee extremely hot, especially during the winter. But you know, different generations have enjoyed their coffee like fresh, hot, and black. And then we're up to now, we like our coffee now nice, cold, and creamy. But a fresh cup of coffee and 6 Krystals, 35 cents. The manager made it nice and hot for me, so I'm just going to be very careful. I don't want to burn my tongue. So my friends, cheers. The coffee of Krystal. It's still hot. Almost burnt my tongue there, but man, really good. Krystal actually has some pretty decent coffee. It's pretty underrated. You know, even a lot of their breakfast is actually very good at Krystal too. I don't eat breakfast at Krystal as much as I would like to. But they have this thing called the Sunrisers. Yeah, it kind of burnt my tongue now. Wish I had a little water for it. Yeah, a little steamy. I might have to come back and drink more of this coffee later. But anyway, their breakfast is, they got like normal biscuits and all that good stuff, and they're little donuts, but their Sunrisers is basically a Krystal, except it's sausage and egg. I believe they have cheese on it, but the bun from Krystal is actually the sandwich, not the biscuit. So just something a little different that way. But now, before we head over to the original location, I have to have one more Krystal. This is very good. Even though this is not the original location, this place here on Cherokee Boulevard might be the closest thing you'll get to the original. Even though the building is a lot different than it is, but the manager said, like I said earlier, said that this particular Krystal is probably the second oldest Krystal that was here in the town of Chattanooga. But as we drive away, let's go ahead and make our way across the river, get into more in the downtown area on the Cherry Street, where we could find basically the idea of where the original Krystal was. Just enjoying a beautiful Tuesday evening in downtown Chattanooga. There's the Walnut Street Bridge. The aquarium right ahead of me. Right over here is the Hair of the Dog Pub. And just to let you guys know, the owners of Honest Pint operates that pub. So if you guys want to still enjoy maybe kind of like a British pub kind of environment, you might want to check that place out. And we have made it, my friends, on the corner of Cherry and 7th Street. And this is the coordinates where Andy showed me where to find the first Krystal. And he believes it was actually the 701 building. It'll be this building right over here. So just imagine what it looked like back in the 1930s when this was just only a particular size building before they added more to a building here. But I'll leave a picture right here of what the first Krystal looked like. But my friends, this is where the ideal location where the first Krystals was located, here off of Cherry and 7th, here in downtown Chattanooga. But this is, again, according to the coordinates my friend Andy sent me to where to find the first Krystal. But a lot has changed. Clearly it's not a Krystal anymore, but we are standing in some fast food history right here in the middle of the city. It's kind of crazy where you could find like the most amazing parts of history. It could be anything, even from like, you know, the great battles of Gettysburg up until like to the hamburgers of Krystal. Wherever you go in the United States or around the world, wherever kind of history you can find. It is just kind of crazy. Just a little hamburger has blown up throughout the southeast of Krystal. It all started right here at this building, or one of these buildings right around here. Again, this is where the coordinates my friend Andy sent me. But again, there's so much has changed from the 1930s up until today. So the headquarters of Krystal is currently in Dunwoody, Georgia. It's no longer in Chattanooga or ever was in Chattanooga. I thought I saw a Krystal building here years ago when I moved down here. I could be completely wrong, but currently the headquarters is actually in Dunwoody, Georgia, so just right outside of Atlanta. But these little hamburgers, my friends, that started about 10 years after White Castles did back in Wichita, Kansas. You got something right here. And I think it's only appropriate to end the vlog with a Krystal and a cup of coffee, a sip of the coffee. Hopefully it's cooled down enough so I can enjoy it. So my friends, first Krystal. 35 cents back in the day. 6 of these and a cup of coffee. Well, friends, that's going to do it for today's adventure. Fun and historic and delicious adventure we did here in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you guys enjoyed this particular vlog, give this video a thumbs up. Shows that you cared and you enjoyed yourselves. And of course, you guys can follow me on my social medias of now currently called X, former Twitter. You can find me there. Of course, Instagram, Threads. And of course, if you want to donate more to the channel, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/MrNomadBen. And I just became monetized not too long ago. I still got to figure things out how to make those things work before I make it to tier 2 on my monetization journey. But right now, there's other ways of doing things on YouTube. So once I figure that out, I will let you guys know on the channel. Well, we are in downtown Chattanooga, so I'm ending the vlog here. But as I'm going to keep the vlog going, I'm not really going to interact much, but I'm going to go see my friend Sam. You guys met him numerous times. He's performing at Clydes tonight, so we're going to make our way to Clydes, maybe listen to some live music, but I'm going to let the vlog die down here. But my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this particular fun Krystal adventure. Eat well and keep your mind walking. I'll see you guys later. And here we are, just enjoying the vlog with some good live music every Tuesday night of open mic night at Clydes. Sam is just practicing, getting ready to perform.
Listen, I go. Listen, I go. Still looking down low. She captured a song. There ain't no use in saving me. See my bones, broken down feelings. Trying to run from the things that I've done, but I just can't get past it. Oh, so love me or hate me, however you have, 'cause baby I feel so bad. Cast your stone.